time. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I can go places aside from Louisville, where we live, and get around without a GPS. Like I don't have a whole bunch of places, but like Louisville, I can get around without a GPS. Lexington, get around without a GPS. Indianapolis, do pretty good getting around without a GPS. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Chicago, Houston, like all those places I used to travel all the time. Like there was something very prideful about that.
See, I don't go places enough. Now you put me in a Disney bubble, I can get you anywhere you want to go.
That's exactly. I was like, dude, I'll sit you in Orlando, and you can tell me how to go everywhere.
Yeah. Well, once you hit the Disney bubble, I can
Right,
kind of,
right,
I can
right,
kind
right.
of get you where you want to go. But like, when it comes to like just basic stuff, like,
All right, welcome back. You are with us here now for episode 25. We did our six.
25 whole episodes.
I know, right? We had our 6 month kind of anniversary. I don't know. That's not really the right word. Last week. So, with episode 24. Today, we've got episode 25. It's April 21st. Coming off the tail end of, for folks that are not local, Thunder over Louisville was this past weekend. So that's a big deal.
Busy, busy times.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. If you're not from the Louisville area, Google Thunder over Louisville, and it'll give you an idea. It's a huge fireworks thing. So definitely was a good time. But today, we kind of alluded to it last week like we normally do. But today's episode, our story mode is going to be Before It Was Cool. Generally, pretty much, it's a smorgasbord of all things nostalgic related, and how kind of us millennials kind of defined a generation, just memories. There is nothing off limits. We're going to talk, like I said, mixture of movies, games, tech, memories, just all kinds of things nostalgic related.
All the
Yeah,
things.
literally. Like I came up with a bunch of different topics off the top of my head. And then, I even went to ChatGPT and was like, hey, I said, I've got a bunch of topics already, but give me some more just so we've got a bunch of stuff to rattle through. But our side quest today, we're going to jump
Excited
back
for
in.
this one.
Yeah, we're going to jump back into Loadout. Last time we did Loadout, we did it, and then we did it on a quad where we picked like our favorite, like a drink and a movie and a game. This time, we're just going to build a time capsule, basically. We're going to go through and talk about 5 things that we would put in a time capsule for, our kids in 20 years or something. And then we've got bonus level. Bonus level today is going to be kind of niche focus around music and concerts. The reason for that is to kind of be a precursor for some upcoming episodes where we get into scores and music. But yeah, that's gonna set the stage for us for press start. Anything else before we get rolling?
No, that's pretty good for our beginning part. Let's go ahead and get going in the story mode.
All right, let's jump into our story mode today. Before it was cool. All right, so yes, I don't know if you saw on our document, but you can see where I put a bunch of stuff and then I just dropped a bunch of other random topics because there's just so many things that we could talk about, and the fact that this one is so incredibly open ended. There's so many different places that we could go, but the first thing I'm going to bring up because it is related to our side quest that we're going to do today, but and I don't want to spend a lot of time on it since it is a side quest, but going to concerts and stuff, and the other reason concerts is right at the tip of my tongue. Did you hear about the lawsuit against Live Nation and Ticketmaster?
No.
So they lost in court. They were found to have had a monopoly on concert tickets and venues and all kinds of stuff. I don't know what that's going to entail, but like I
There's tons of websites you can buy concert tickets from, though.
yeah, but there's that whole thing about the scalpers and the price gouging and the price
Yeah.
gouging just through them directly, and that's the thing when you think about growing up and concerts. And like I said, we'll get into some specifics around those. But like I remember tickets like not being that much. Like when I think of mainstream
Oh, they are
concerts,
now.
oh my god, dude, those Taylor
They are
Swift
now.
those Taylor Swift tickets, I cannot even remember what those cost. Like it was insane, worth it. Obviously, I mean, not that I attended the concert, but definitely worth it. But it's one of those things we can always talk about tech and things like that. and I feel like our parents would talk more about this than we would, but like now you've got all the fancy tech and stuff, and people use their phones like as flashlights, and you know,
Well, nowadays, like you can stream like Taylor Swift's a perfect example. You have the whole Eras tour on. It's a
on
Disney thing.
TikTok and
You can
stuff.
just watch it. Well, on
Yes.
TikTok, and then they have they had it where they recorded it. It was in theaters, and then they had it. I think it's out. Was it out in Disney on Disney now?
Yeah. So I mean, you've got all those resources, but like before smartphones and stuff like that, it was that looks amazing. What flavor is that? Apple. Okay, I might have to try that one. But like I do remember, like I said, I feel like our um you are muted, my friend.
Yeah, I figured that out. I don't know how I hit that, but I just held up a monster bad apple to the
That
camera.
yeah, I'll say that I might have to try that.
It's good.
My mom's gonna be mad at me because she keeps
Only
saying
thing I wish
there's
is that
energy drinks.
it was zero sugar. It's the only thing I wish was different on it. So
Oh, okay. I won't try it then. I'll drink an energy drink, but it's got to be zero sugar, which
yeah,
seems counterproductive. But no, the whole thing with like lighters, like you hold up a
yeah, and now
lighter,
it's the phones
and now
and
it's the
yeah.
phone, and then Taylor Swift had those bracelets that they handed
Mhm.
everyone out, whenever you
So
walked in.
being a Disney nerd, so like all the stuff they do, like they do like the Phantasmic and Happily Ever After, which is like the fireworks shows and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
that they do.
yeah.
If you have a Magic Band, which are one of these, I don't know if you know what they are.
Yeah, I know what they are. Oh, you got a new one.
I have this one and this one,
As you can imagine, he is holding up a Star
and
Wars band,
here's Becca's.
Lion King, and then a bedazzled. Actually, kind of looks Taylor Swift inspired.
It's my wife's, so it's
Yeah. All
um,
right.
and they just came out with a Mandalorian one that I got. That's for May the 4th.
Oh, that's perfect. That's
But
perfect.
what I was getting at is so like the way that they trigger to the fireworks and the music, so they will light up in accordance to
Oh,
the fireworks shows.
I did not know that.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, I mean that checks out. I guess. I mean that.
That's really cool though. But it's like the same aspect of what we were just talking about like Taylor Swift and holding your wrist up, and
Yeah, because
it's the same aspect.
and she handed out those bracelets, and then people put the tag back in them so the batteries would last or whatever. But it was just something. Actually, the fact you bring up Disney is a perfect kind of segue. But no, I mean like the whole thing with lighters. I think we transitioned to smartphones. To a point where I pretty much remember the smartphones, but I remember going to some local shows and doing the lighter thing. But no, to the Disney point. The thing that has been blowing my mind recently. So last week was CinemaCon, which I don't know if you follow any of that stuff on TikTok, but they do a bunch of. It's apparently a big event for movie theater owners, and all the studios come and show
Is
trailers
it
and stuff.
trailers and stuff like that?
Yeah, like I remember, you see a trailer, you would see one trailer on TV, watching a TV show, a sitcom or something, and you see a trailer one time, and that was it. And then the movie would come out, and like that was how we consumed new media. You'd get a trailer,
Now,
you'd go see a movie, and like now, dude, for one, there's like 30 trailers before the movie comes out, and they give away so much stuff like it blows my mind. And like this whole thing with CinemaCon, people are there, people are sharing content on TikTok, and don't get me wrong, like I get into the hype and everything, but like I long for that time of a movie coming out and being surprised.
well, there's so many trailers now that get leaked or other things get leaked about it, and it's like everything that's in the movie before it ever comes.
Oh, dude,
You know,
it's prime example with Mario. And this isn't a spoiler; it was in the trailer. But like the whole Star Fox thing, like
yeah,
that should have they should have never revealed that at
and
all
just let it happen in the movie.
and let it happen in the movie.
Yeah,
Like I feel the last time, and it is recent, but like the last time I can remember going to see a movie and being like, "Oh my god." I mean, the Avengers movies have done that pretty good, like Infinity War, Endgame. But Spider-Man, No Way Home.
Yeah,
You know,
with Tobey Maguire,
now
and
there was a lot of
there
shit.
was a lot of speculation, a lot of thoughts, but it was never confirmed, showed. So when it happened, it was
Yes, and the fact that Charlie Cox showed up in there was nothing about that. So they still do it right from time to time, but
yeah,
I mean, dude, like it's an ongoing joke, that a movie comes out or a TV show starts or something like that. If you are not able to consume it immediately, you have to like go on a social media blackout because with the
yep.
algorithms and all of
Well, and
that.
it's not even just that. Like when something comes out too, like we were doing this with Demon Slayer when the Demon Slayer movie came out. Me and my buddy. So it came out on like I feel like it came out like a weird day, but we couldn't watch it till Sunday because that's the first day all of us was off. There was like 7 of us going. It was like me, Wayne, Berm, his sister. Like we literally had like 6 people, 6 or 7 go. We couldn't go until Sunday. So me and Berm basically we did not get on any type of social media for like 3 days. Like it's when that movie released, we didn't do anything for 3 days because we knew it was going to ruin stuff.
Yeah, I mean I was like that with Stranger Things. The premiere came out New Year's Eve. I was in Lexington, and like I went on a full blackout. And lo and behold, I watched the finale, which of course was amazing. As soon as I opened TikTok, first 3 things, and I'll tell you right now, like when social media like first became a thing, you didn't have to like worry about spoiler warnings and stuff. That wasn't the trendy thing.
Now it's everywhere.
And nothing irritates me more than open up a TikTok and they going right into spoilers. I'm like, dude, I get that you want to make content, and I can appreciate you making content,
but don't ruin other people's fun.
Yeah, that's like we were talking. Mandalorian and Grogu comes out. When's it come out again?
May 23rd, I believe.
Yeah. So now I think we're gonna try and go see it the day that it comes out. But I mean, that's one. Like, if we're not able to go see it launch night, like I will avoid social media. Not that that's something I guess that I'm worried about spoilers.
It comes out May 22nd. It comes out May 22nd. I do, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go watch it that day, unfortunately. As much as that's upsetting, but I should be able to watch it the following Sunday.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, fair enough. But yeah, it's something that is very irritating. And then I feel, and look, we've got our list. We're not going to necessarily go in order because
there was one that I'm gonna. If you see where my cursor's at, I want to bring up because it's.
Well, we'll get there. I'm going to jump into because you brought up Demon Slayer, and like I feel, and we brought this up. We had a whole episode about anime.
Anime wasn't cool at one point,
but this whole thing before it was cool. Like anime, we talked about it in Power Levels. I think was the name. I can't remember which episode it was, but I mean that's the thing. We grew up with anime. It was not mainstream then. You were made fun of it for it. You were ridiculed for it. You couldn't walk into a Walmart and find Dragon Ball toys, and now.
But now there's even like toys that are coming out for stuff that just ruins. Like it's like, what was it that
Yes.
What was it?
It was just recently too.
Yes, and they released a toy of a character from the movie that we didn't even know was going to be in the movie. So everyone found out he was going to be in the movie because of the toy.
Yeah, I can't remember. I know a lot of Avengers stuff got jacked up by the
Do you know what I'm talking about though? Like, do you remember that whole thing?
Yep. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, the anime stuff, like, I mean, that is the epitome of before it was cool, and we're not gatekeeping this, like, just because the title of the episode is before it was cool. Like, we are the last people to gatekeep. But yeah, dude, the fact that Demon Slayer did so well.
Like, I've watched Demon Slayer since like it was like less than a month after it came out because it originally launched.
I jumped into that one pretty.
I watched it almost instantly, and then like, now it's like everybody's like,
that movie. I mean, I could look up the stats and the specifics, but I'm fairly certain it wound up being the highest grossing anime movie of all time. But it was outdoing like regular film in theaters. Like, I mean, and that if there's a whole thing about.
And just talking about theaters with that, like back then, like you would never see an anime in a theater.
No, No.
Now every anime movie that comes out, I believe Chainsaw Man was in theaters.
Yep.
The Chainsaw Man movie was. I know JJK was. Demon Slayer was. Like
Yeah, it
now
was.
it's like
I cannot
and
remember anime movies coming to
well even
theaters until Battle of Gods. Personally.
and we went and watched Daima.
Oh yeah, the episodes. Yeah.
So that was something,
Yeah, I mean it was absolutely insane, and
So
you know, and yeah, it's just something that like we're not going to gatekeep by any means, but the fact that I acknowledge that anime is probably the most obvious thing that was a big deal to us, and I don't want to say it's making a comeback. That's not the right phrase, but now it's like peak, like
well,
absolutely peak.
I think that one of them, and it's still kind of anime, is and I put this as one of the under kind of like having a hobby with things.
Yeah.
Back then, trading card games, they were not, they didn't cost like they do now.
Yep, and it was
The same card,
niche.
like for instance, there's a Xerneas card. I showed you the Xerneas card whenever you were over one day.
Yep.
That Xerneas card now, if it would have, it's not going to because it's so old and like I've used it, like I played with it.
Right.
I only spent like $30 on two or three of them, and now it's like a mint 10 is like $500 or something like that.
Dude, that's the thing. Like we were able to now when I say a phrase like we were able to, it sounds like I'm gatekeeping, but we were able to have hobbies and interests and things that we were into because we were into them. That was it.
Yeah.
Now everything is monetized at some capacity. And I do understand that making a business out of things.
If you can make a business, I'm not ever gonna hold that.
I'm
not
not
saying that. It just sucks because like now, like I've told you before. Now, obviously, I've been super busy the past 6-7 months. Everyone knows that. Everyone on like personal friends.
You've been rocking and rolling.
And I haven't been able to do as many hobbies or anything that I want because I'm pretty much doing this, working or spending time with the family. I looked into getting back into it, and like some of the things you can get it back into, and it's not super expensive. I looked at Lorcana, and a simple, basic Lorcana deck. So Pokemon was different because you could buy spend $60, get a decent deck, somewhat meta deck, and play.
Yeah, they sell those like competitive specific decks.
Well, but you can do that. If you wanted to SIR it, you're looking at $300-$400, $500, $600, whatever it might be. Lorcana, you can't even build a deck for any less than like it was like. I think the cheapest one I found that was good was like $230 or $240.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
I almost texted you the other day. I'm in a Lorcana group, even though I don't do Lorcana anymore. And I guess the next set they're bringing Toy Story into it.
I will 100% hop into that.
Yeah, there's like an SR or something that's Sid from Toy Story. So and there was a Buzz Lightyear card. I'll have to find the pictures to you, but yeah, just the fact that everything's monetized now. Again, make your money. That's fine, but
we're not denying that. It kind of sucks. Like those are just the best way to put it. Well, it's not. I'm never gonna disrespect somebody for a hustle. Like I get it. Like make your money. I'm not gonna say that. But at the same time, like.
But I do feel there's a direct correlation to like people not enjoying their hobbies and monetizing them, and like mental health. Because if you can't enjoy your hobby because you're focused on making money.
Like that's a different thing. Like enjoy your hobby. Yeah. I see what that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's funny. So we're talking about MapQuest. When I was getting to the age of driving,
I was very proud that this popped in my head, by the way.
When I was getting to the age of driving is when phones started being what we used. Oh. I remember using MapQuest. Like I remember it.
You were the kid with the instructions reading it to your mom?
Yes. But what got me about this? So I have a Garmin that I use all the time. We'll just leave it at that. So I use it all the time. It just broke. It just stopped working. It just all shorted out and couldn't do nothing. So I bought a brand new one. That's upstairs. When you talked about GPS,
I didn't think about that.
Well, it's funny because I'm driving around.
Because you probably can't use your phone for obviously. So okay.
But we're out driving around, and I'm like, man, I didn't realize like I know my way around,
Yep.
but like names of stuff
Right.
I don't
Right.
know. So
Oh
like
my
if I'm going
gosh.
somewhere that I don't know like where I'm going, like I can't I'm looking at names. I was so like used to just looking at that to see the name of the street. I can't do that anymore. I couldn't do it. And I was like, I went for like 2 days without it. I was like, dude, this is awful. Like,
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like our parents could argue about the whole map thing. Like, they had to use maps and all that stuff. But for us, or for me at least, like I was on the tail end of having to print out MapQuest directions and look down and read them, and that was what I will tell you. The MapQuest era. I don't know if you do this, but that's what developed my whole. Oh, I got to turn the music down because I'm going to get lost if I don't. I'm gonna get lost if the music's up while I'm reading these directions. Like that's what started that. Like as soon as I got to where I needed to start looking at the map quest, I turned the music down, roll the window
well,
up.
and now obviously on your cars, like my car, like you get a
Built in.
2023, it's built in. So yes, you do. You don't need a GPS. You use your
Right,
phone.
right. Yeah, use your phone or if they've got it built in. But like our parents had maps and then we had MapQuest and then we had MapQuest and now everybody's got,
Yep.
their phones and look, I'm not going to knock smartphones ever because the fact that these phones can do everything is great. It's outstanding and we live and breathe by them. It's a little creepy at times, but it is super super convenient. But and aside from being a GPS that I will say I tell everyone this all the time. I take a lot of pride in the fact that I can go places aside from Louisville, where we live, and get around without a GPS. Like I don't have a whole bunch of places, but like Louisville, I can get around without a GPS. Lexington, get around without a GPS. Indianapolis, do pretty good getting around without a GPS. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Chicago, Houston, like all those places I used to travel all the time. Like there was something very prideful about that.
See, I don't go places enough. Now you put me in a Disney bubble, I can get you anywhere you want to go.
That's exactly. I was like, dude, I'll see you in Orlando, and you can tell me how to go everywhere.
Yeah. Well, once you hit the Disney bubble, I can
Right,
kind of
right,
I
right,
can
right.
kind of get you where you want to go. But like when it comes to like just basic stuff, like I know Louisville very well, but that's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
it's just something that's kind of prideful. But again, we have our phones all the time, so it's like if I ever do
Well,
need a
if you don't
GPS
like,
or
I'm very bad about doing it. Like when I know I need to be somewhere, I'll put it in my phone right before I leave to see if there's something gonna keep me from being
yes,
there.
that's
And then
exactly what
so I'm
I
like,
do.
okay, look, I know this. Okay, so I can go this way, and then I don't need the GPS, but I do it just to see.
Yep, that is
So
exactly. I do that all the time to check for traffic and stuff
yep.
like that. But no, I mean like with our phones, with GPS obviously, but cameras. You know, we don't need like I remember
Dude, I
the
have a story about something that just happened. Like me and Becca just had this conversation about cameras.
well, digital cameras appear to be making a comeback. First of all, like I'm seeing more and more, and I'm not talking about whoop ass photographers that still use their whoop ass cameras. I am talking about the normal person wanting to take a picture. We have a camera in our pocket all the time, but digital cameras appear to be making a comeback at some
Well,
capacity.
so I thought about it because we're gonna have our Disney trip. I was
Mm-hmm.
gonna buy a GoPro
Oh,
to take with us,
nice.
just to think, And it was funny because me and my buddy were watching a video,
You
and
gonna you gonna mount it on your nose?
it's no, it's too big. It sticks out too far.
Oh, okay,
You
okay.
can't get a
Well, that's what I
yeah,
figured. Your nose, bigger than your head, so your nose be a better
yeah.
spot.
But anyway, so we were watching a video, and it was this dude. It was about one of the hotels. It's the hotel that I find the best, but I've never stayed at it, but like going in it has one of my favorite restaurants.
Was it
Well, it's completely different. The Polynesian.
Polynesian? Yeah.
Yeah. So it's completely different. But the guy that was recording had one of the big cameras. So he was like holding it and like
Oh,
it was like
wow.
recording it. Like it was that long ago. So like he was recording it and it was like a full VHS that was in it,
Oh
like when he
my
was recording.
gosh.
So it was funny because he was walking and he walked over to the mirror and me and my buddy Alex are watching it and he looks and he goes like this. He's like, "Yep, this is this." And he's like, "Hi." And I'm standing there and Alex pauses it. And I'm like, "Holy cow." Now you get a GoPro. It's smaller than your palm.
Oh, dude, straight up.
So like,
You could take it a step further and talk about them damn meta glasses.
oh yeah, the meta glasses are really cool. So I have a buddy that has a pair. They kind of freaked me out. He's like, look. So he came over one day, or we were working. He's like, hey, put this on. We were just standing at the gas station, and I put them on. It was funny because this is when I had glasses, so I had to take mine off.
Oh yeah,
put the new ones on. And he was like, now look at that. And you look at the gas pump, and it's like gas pump.
What?
Yeah, because it'll like say stuff like it's like there's speakers in them.
Really? See, I haven't done enough research to really. I just
dude, they're wild. And so he shoots guns a lot. Yeah. So when he's at the range, he wears them for his protective, so you can see him. Like he has videos of him shooting. Yeah, well, it's just cool.
Well,
just cool.
And that can probably help troubleshoot his shooting as well.
Yeah.
Like if shots are off or anything, he could go back and review footage and be like, "Oh, I pulled to the left."
Dude, you can do all along. So like he was running. So he used to be competitive. Like he used to shoot competitively. So he went on like a full like. It was funny because he wore them one day when he was doing a competitive route. Like you know how they do. Like you see the videos.
Oh yeah.
So you like, and he was switching from rifle to his handgun at his comp shoot, and it like the meta glasses just did it. You would never even dream of having something like that 20 years ago.
Oh, dude, no.
Like that's not even a thought.
Well, and that's the thing. Like I remember with the cameras, like I had when I worked at GameStop, ironically enough, I think the picture's still on my Facebook. I had this digital camera where you could take a picture, and that's the other thing too. Selfies, I don't think really started becoming a thing heavily till phones.
Right after I got promoted, I have a selfie with Anthony Davis because it was our cardboard cutout for the NBA that year.
Well, and I don't want to say they started with cell phones because literally there's a picture that my grandfather took with an old camera that he did a selfie. But there's a picture, like I bought this camera because it had a feature built into the camera. Like I didn't have to load it on a computer or anything, but built into the camera where I could tell it to accent certain colors and then make everything else black and white. So literally right there on the little touchscreen for the digital camera, this picture that's on my Facebook.
And that was hot dollar back then, too.
Oh, dude, yeah. I was very proud. But, GameStop, the colors you think of are red, black, and white. So I took a selfie in the store, and I had a bunch of signage behind me that had some red accents. So I this picture is still, it was my profile picture forever. But it's black and white, but you can see the red accents behind me. And, and all of them, of course, they had the SD cards and stuff that we have now. But my mom... You talked about the big VHS ones. My mom had one. It was a square thing, had a screen on it, but it used floppy disks instead of
that's
SD
wild.
Card. Yes,
that's wild.
It did video, it did pictures, but it used floppy disks. And talking about, obviously floppy disks in their own right. And actually. Floppy disks, computer media, obviously, and then USB flash drives and SD cards and CDs and da-da-da-da. But can we talk about the fact that it blows my mind that you cannot buy a computer with a disk drive at all anymore?
Not anymore.
And, like, it's just not a thing. But
and it was like, if you get a computer built, it's like expensive to get them to put one in it.
I know. Like, you're better off getting a USB external one than to try and get one installed. And, what cracks me up about that is, obviously we did CDs a whole bunch because of LimeWire, Kazaa, making mixtapes. Our parents made mix tapes. We made mix CDs, through.
I remember I had a buddy. We were going over. We were going to watch UFC. His dad was going out of town, and he bought the UFC pay-per-view for us. We bought wings from somewhere over, and then we made CDs and just had music going all night.
Yep.
It was fantastic. Great night.
And the fact that you can still buy CDs and stuff, but I don't.
Not at all stores.
I know, but I don't think so. CDs never went away, but as far as again things coming back now, we can't stake claim to these. These are our parents. But the fact that vinyl records are coming back,
dude, we talked about this a couple episodes ago because that's what I got Becca a record player for Christmas.
Yeah, and I got one for Christmas.
Yeah, so
you got you got the Pokemon
Pokemon
Blue, right?
Yep, soundtrack. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
So, But speaking of like just CDs and stuff, like brick and mortar stores are changing now.
dude.
Like because like and it's not. You know what's crazy to me though? Like I was thinking about this. So like you have brick and mortar stores that are going away and then coming back and then going away and then coming back. Like the GameStop at Jefferson Mall is a perfect example. It went away, went into like 2 other different stores. Well, now it's back in the Jefferson Mall in the same exact spot.
Yeah. Well, in like Toys R Us. I mean,
Toys R Us, yep.
dude, the memory.
Well, aren't they putting them in other stores now?
Yeah, so they're in Macy's now.
That's what it is.
But that's the thing. A lot of Macy's are going away, but the Macy's that exist. But see, that's the thing. Obviously, this is not a store that I shop at, but I'm sure you're aware. Like Sephora used to have.
Unfortunately, I am aware.
So they had standalone stores. Or
now they're all in.
Now they're in Kohl's.
I thought that was Ulta.
No, I'm getting to there. Well, Ulta's
in something else.
Targets.
That's what it is.
So people.
Oh yeah, that makes more sense. Why she always goes to Ulta.
And people are speculating that Ulta as a standalone, they've been closing stores, so they're gonna start this whole embedding into Target thing.
Well, so and not even just that. Like your stores, if you walked in an FYE 15 years ago,
dude, FYE
lined with movies, lined with CDs, lined. You had the headphones you put on, and you would scan a CD. Those are nowhere to be found.
Now it's a brighter Hot Topic.
That is exactly what it is. It's full of plushies. It's full of like pillows and collectibles and statues.
I will say they have some cool shit.
I'm not saying that. Like I remember. So a couple years ago, do you know who the New Day is from WWE?
No, remember they
had the booty.
Era,
Well, but they had a cereal that came out. It was called the Bootios.
I saw that on TikTok. All right, I saw that on TikTok.
It is the Bootios. So they were bought in FYE. You could buy them in FYE. They were like $15 for a box, but you could get them.
Yeah,
but it's just the change because and it's not just them. Like we've made comments about GameStop. This is all about GameStop. GameStop's not even 100% a game store anymore. It's completely different than what it is. And I get you have to change with the times. Like I'm not, but it's like some of those you're like, okay, like I want to walk in GameStop and see games everywhere.
And that again, before it was cool, GameStop had those 7,000-8,000 stores, however many we talked about, and then they've closed. But the idea, so yeah, these brick and mortar stores going away are changing. Physical media going away, changing. These are all things that we grew up that we loved, and yes, digital is the mainstream and all that, but physical vinyls, coming back. Yes, your big boxes have stopped carrying movies and stuff, but all these like independent, like bookstores, independent game stores, independent like these small shops are coming back. So some brick and mortar is coming back, but not from a big box standpoint. It's these small outfits.
The only ones that are still alive as a big box are like Barnes and Noble and stuff, and that's because of the other stuff they have in them.
Exactly.
But Amazon changed. We've talked about it before. Amazon changed a lot of things. Amazon did. I mean, me and you are both guilty of it. If I want something,
straight up,
Amazon, get it ordered, get it here the next. My GPS I was talking about earlier, I ordered it. It was here in 2 days.
Yeah,
I got it today.
Dude, we're moving, and that's what I've been doing this week is ordering stuff to have ready for the move and all that, like those mounts and everything. Yeah, we're guilty of it. I mean, you can't beat convenience, but like obviously people younger than us don't have the nostalgia that we have for those things. But
and there's some stuff like we've had conversations before. Like I'm okay with it switching. Like I love the fact that like movies are all digital now. Like I love the fact that to stream stuff. Like I do. It's fantastic. I do. As much as I wish I didn't, and I loved having the physical stuff. Like I loved having the metal cases and all that. Oh, dude, it's so much easier. And I'm like, you know what? I was doing it the other day.
How much I loved steelbooks. So
I was on a Fandango account, and just watching some movies.
Fandango, what is that? Fandango.
It's a wrestler.
What?
Fandango's a wrestler. So
all right. I'll cut you some slack on that one.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. He was a tag team. But anyway, I saw TikTok. I was scrolling. John Wick came up. And it was the scene in John Wick 1 when he's at the door and the cop's like,
How you doing,
Mr.
John?
Wick, you doing all right? He's like, yeah,
You working again?
something like that. I'll leave you to it. And I was like, man, I started watching John Wick.
Did you? Are you?
Yes,
Still,
I'm like,
you're still logged in, right?
mm.
Oh, perfect.
So
See?
I was started watching John Wick. So I was like halfway through. I'm halfway through the first one.
Yeah,
so I was going to finish it tonight.
And
And then like stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? Like it's so like used to it did like it's so much easier. And Wayne talks about this all the time. Or Scott made a comment when I was talking about Pokemon. And he was like, that's why I went all digital. Yeah, because it is easier to just go boop.
yeah.
Boop,
Well, and that's the thing. I bought a disc PS5 because I was like, I'm not doing digital. I'm not doing no.
Same exact thing,
Dude.
Same exact thing.
Everything's digital.
And now I'm buying everything digital.
And the thing is, I do acknowledge the issues with it, and frankly, other countries are having legislation against the whole thing of not owning it, and it's just like a
well, it was the whole thing,
thing.
when the Switch 2 came out about licensing and all that. But
yeah, so but the gaming stuff, and the box retailers and the physical aspect, like it's something that we did that we love that it now is coming back at some capacity, which speaking of physical things specifically, do you remember it may have, I assume you remember at some capacity how everything used to be see-through, like phones,
dude,
game controllers, TVs,
Game Boys were like you had like all the N64s were all like you had the see-through green, you had the purple one.
Dude, I want see-through tech to make a comeback so bad. And not just the controllers and stuff that had the like dark transparent see-through, but like I remember we each had a phone before we had cell phones. We each had a corded phone in our bedrooms, and it was perfectly clear. And then the mechanisms were all super like bright colors, like orange gears and green little buttons and like super flashy. And because even before cell phones, now this did apply to cell phones, but do you remember doing star 67 or star 69 whenever you would call people? Like it was, I think it was star
67 still works.
Does it? Is that the one that makes your number private? Yeah. So star 67 and then dial the number, and then star 69, is that what would give you the number of who called before?
I don't remember.
I think is what it was. But like
I don't remember using star 69, but star 67 I used.
Oh, dude, you prank call people and everything else.
What are you doing?
Well, and you trying to sound like the Resident Evil 4 merchant?
That's how we used to do it. We would say,
what are you
doing? No, we would just, what are you doing?
Well, and and that's the thing. Like, I say this all the time. People give me crap for it. Like, everyone says I have a bunch of chaseisms, like squirrely, waffling shenanigans. But the other one is 411. Like, I can't tell you the last time. I think I said it to my niece one time. Like, here, let me give you the 411 on this. She's like, what the hell does that even mean?
I know what it means, but I don't ever use it.
No.
Doggo and Pupper, I still use to this day. Like, Doggo and Pupper.
Well, that's what I was looking at this with some of the different phrases. Like, saying 411, like, I say it all the time, and people are like, what in the world are you talking about? But, you used to dial 411.
Wayne, I hear Wayne all the yeah, but I just you were talking. I'm reading your phrases, and it's funny because some of them, like I say doggo or pupper all the time, but then Wayne, I know Wayne saying that's swag. Like I've heard him say it.
Dude, swag
said it, typed it.
Like I feel like swag is the equivalent, I guess, of what would the equivalent for like a Gen Z? Wouldn't be that bussin' thing. No, that wouldn't be it. I don't know.
No, doesn't that mean good?
Yeah, I guess so. But if someone's got swag,
yeah,
drip,
okay,
drip. I guess is that what the kids say now?
Yeah, it's the same thing.
But
I'm drippy. Drippy.
But there's so many things like adulting. Like we've talked about. I think our first general nostalgic episode, we talked about the fact that we're adults, but we forget about the fact that we're the adults.
Yeah,
and like how adulting is hard.
Yeah, I said that earlier. I was paying bills, and I said, "Beck, adulting's hard."
Dude, no, straight up, and but I there were a couple other, YOLO, you only live once, Cool Beans.
It's different is another one.
It's different. Yep.
That hits different.
Yep. Salty, like I say salty all the time. But what's funny is I asked ChatGPT, actually. I was like, hey, I said, what are some other like phrases like that are millennial? And I feel like some of these are old.
All that in a bag of chips is good.
All that in a bag of chips? Yep. You remember the ultimate insult to somebody, up your butt and around the corner? Did you ever have that one?
Yeah.
Like we need to
Yeah, I
we
remember
need to
that one.
bring that back. Like,
Yeah.
but all that bag of chips. Booyah, like
Okay.
Booyah was.
So do you remember have you ever seen oh his name Michael Kyle, My Wife and Kids? Is that his name? Is that the show?
My wife and kid.
It's
Damon,
what
it was Damon Wayans, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
but it's him, he's the dad, and then he's I
Yes.
don't remember his son's name's Junior in
Yes.
the show.
Yep. Yep.
I was watching it was funny because this clip came up on TikTok and he was playing and he was going, they were playing foosball and he would score and go booyaka,
Oh man.
booyaka, and he just kept doing it the entire time. And I
Booyah.
was like, man,
Booyah.
I ain't heard that. I ain't heard that
Dude,
in a long
yeah,
time.
I remember saying that's tight all the time, and like my mom hated that. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but just saying, "Oh, dude, that's tight."
We still say that now. I ain't gonna lie. Owned is a good one.
And I feel
Owned is a good
owned
one.
and pwned kind of go hand in hand, but I mean, I feel like pwned was very game
Bro,
specific.
so this says the what's up, like what do you think about whenever you hear what's up?
So I think of Scary Movie.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we thought of the same thing.
Yeah.
I think of the what's up?
What's up? Which
And then
please,
the
please tell
song
me,
that comes right after that
Oh,
is hilarious.
dude. And please tell me you saw the trailer for the new one, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I cannot wait. But
So,
it was, I mean, but yeah, so just different phrases. I don't think any of our phrases will ever come back by any means, but I do think that there are phrases that Gen Z are using that are similar to what.
they're the same thing, they're just different words.
Well,
Like
I saw a TikTok the other day that was criticizing. So we said SAR 67, and I didn't even realize the whole 6-7 thing that the kids were doing.
oh, don't do
No,
that.
no, no. I know. I did the hand gesture.
I
too.
got that in Vegas by a dealer.
Oh my God, are you?
And
serious?
I wanted to stand up and walk away. Yes. So we were playing blackjack.
He had a
Flips
6 and a
six.
7.
He flips a 6 and then flips another card and it's of course a 7 and he goes 6-7. I was like, you did not just do that.
Well, but
Like,
here's the
just
thing.
take my money. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
up and walk away.
But here's the thing, dude. Like that's what they do.
We did that stuff.
Well, I saw a TikTok the other day that said "Kids Today" and it was the 6-7, and then it cut to a Beavis and Butthead episode where he's like, "I am Cornholio."
Okay.
What is it? I have no bunghole, or whatever it was.
Yo te pito my bunghole.
Like, dude, like they do some dumb shit, but we did some dumb shit too,
Yeah.
And
So
but and then of course, meme culture now with TikTok and all of that has like we walked with
now
memes so that these generations can run. Like that all
Yeah.
started with the internet age and all of that and they've kind of picked it and run with it and like I said, there's so many things aside from that because I think old memes are coming back, but there's a lot of stuff coming back from that era.
There's a couple of these I didn't know about. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like, see, so we've talked about like vinyl's coming back and different things, but media wise, like I feel is the one.
I remember we talked about the X-Men cartoon. I didn't know they were rebooting Courage.
Yep, Courage
Cowardly
is getting
Dog.
reboot now. You still need
Rugrats.
To watch. You need to watch X-Men '97, like very much.
Yeah,
so.
but Rugrats I remember seeing something about.
And not just reboots of old cartoons. Like there's a lot of those, but like those old staple shows like Friends, the Harry Potter.
They had the whole
shows.
event. Yeah.
Yep.
Harry Potter, which now Harry Potter really is getting a reboot. So technically,
That's true. That's true. Which is kind of a whole thing.
I think you would have somebody very mad if you didn't actually make that comment.
Yes, I have to bring up the reboot. And then ultimately, look, before it was cool, like the main thing that again, I'm not gonna gatekeep, but everyone who loves TikTok, everyone who loves Instagram, everyone who loves Facebook, they wouldn't have any of that. None of it.
It wasn't for old Tom.
Tom, our first friend on MySpace. Like MySpace started everything that we have now. And kids today will never know the struggle of having to select a top 8. And all that.
When you don't have somebody in the top 8 that thinks they should be in the top 8.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, it's something else. But
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna bring us to our close for our story mode. You think? Did I get? I mean, we have so many things on this list. We could probably
Yeah,
talk for
but
another hour.
there's
But
not. Yeah, but there's not. We hit the big ones. I feel
oh,
like
without
things
a
that
doubt.
were then and now.
Yeah,
So
without a doubt. So we'll go ahead and cut off our story mode and jump into our first side quest, Loadout. The concept of this side quest of Loadout. So, last time we had different groups of movies and TV, and we picked one to talk about our ideal hangout loadout. This is kind of a little different, and I think it would be way too easy if we were thinking about what we grew up with that we want to put in a time capsule, because we would just instantly get nostalgic and all that.
yeah,
So thinking about right now, and where we are with the world and life and tech and all of that, and we can go back and forth. But if there are 5 items, if you were going to put together a metal box time capsule, bury it in the backyard, and in 20 years have the kids go out and dig it up, what is your first item that you
a Game
would
Boy
put in
Color.
there? All right, so you are going nostalgic. You're going to grab a Game Boy Color.
No, that's my one real nostalgic item.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so one item that's not from this era. The
Get
other
a
4
Game
have
Boy
to be.
Color and put Pokemon Yellow in it.
Which color Game Boy Color?
The Pikachu one. That's the one I had.
Oh, fair assessment. Okay.
Which is funny because I found it not too long ago, and now I don't know where I'll put it. But it has a purple battery cover because
you lost the battery cover,
so I lost the blue one, so I took Wayne's purple one
and put it on there.
So it has the Pikachu front, the blue back, and it has a purple battery color.
There you go.
That was years ago.
Well, my one nostalgic, so one old and then 4 from like right now. So my one old one that I would grab, I would say would be a PlayStation 2 Airflow controller.
Oh goodness, which
I know we got the episode coming up.
That's coming up
about
in a
accessories.
Bit,
that's why it was.
So, and the other reason, because you said do this for your kids to look at.
Yep.
Maverick now is carrying around a Pikachu that we bought from Box Lunch.
Oh, that's glorious! Is it a plus?
So
or
that
like
would
a
be
hard plastic one.
No, like a stuffed animal.
Nice.
So that's why.
Yeah, actually, I'll say that's a good call. I'm going to say a PS2 with an Airflow controller.
Yeah. So, but
what's your next one?
Why.
Focusing on now.
20 years from now. So.
Yep. They're going to open it up in 2046.
Because this is where we make a lot of our, like right now, we're making a lot of our memories, is one of these Magic Bands.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, because y'all do
because
the Disney thing.
We go to Disney a lot, and to see, I've talked to Alex about this, and to see what this is now versus what one of these kind of started as.
Yeah. And
then what it's going to probably be in 20 years.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. For me, my next thing would be I have a statue that is from the Saiyan saga of Dragon Ball. It's Goku, and he's holding Gohan when he's a kid with his hat and the Dragon Ball. I'm gonna put the Goku and Gohan statue in there.
So for my third item,
you're noodling hard.
Yeah, I'm thinking because
I'm waiting for you to say one in particular, but you haven't said it yet.
I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that so I'm trying to make sure it's like This is actually a hard question.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I'm trying to think of other stuff that I think Mav and Eshay would like, oh, this is cool. So something they can connect with.
Right, exactly.
I guess you can say.
Yeah.
I would find something dinosaur-esque.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I just don't know what yet.
Well, that's a fair assessment. Ironically enough, not dinosaur related, but my next one would be I would go and get I think it was It was either Guardians 1 or Guardians 2 that had a steelbook Blu-ray case that had Baby Groot on it. I think it was Guardians 2 because that's the one that opens with Baby Groot. I would put the steelbook because you know how much he watches those Groot shorts like
Yeah.
crazy. But I would, so that captures a little bit of physical media with Blu-ray plus Groot. I would do the steelbook of Guardians 2.
So when we go to Disney, I actually booked this very recently. I've told you about this where I'm going to have Maverick do a droid because he always likes messing with my droid. That droid. Yep. Because I'm going to have him make another one when he's older to see the differences.
And how they developed them now, and then how they... God, dude, by the 20 years, they've probably got... Oh, I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about it.
That's crazy.
My fourth one would probably have to be... let's see. I'm going to say... I feel like it's kind of a cop-out, but an iPad. And it's two reasons. I mean, one, obviously, you know, that's his safe space, you know, and everything. But it's a really cool thing, and
to see the differences between
in 20 years
what they are now versus what you can do in 20 years.
Exactly, but specifically like in that rubber blue case, like it is now, like exactly as it is.
Well, and the other thing, like why it's kind of hard for me to like pick is because like SJ's so young, like they don't really, he hasn't established the stuff like Mav has. Like I know, like I know for a fact, and actually, so instead of putting the dinosaur thing in there, because I don't want to do it, I would put one. I want to put one of Mav's little giraffes in there.
Oh, there you go, little Jeffrey.
Yeah, because he don't go anywhere without those bad boys.
That's fair. What's your fifth and final item?
So just something that's what I was looking for, because I would do something that I like that relates specifically to me for them to see. Yeah. Like, you know, like you have your statue. That's kind of one of the things.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking with that. Yeah.
If I could keep it from breaking, I'd probably put like my BD1 statue in there, or my BD1 Lego.
I was waiting for you to say a Lego. That's what I was waiting for you to say.
Well, but like, that's what I was looking at but like at the same time, like I didn't want to do it, and then like, if we can verify, like put a bunch of glue on it and stuff, to make sure it doesn't break.
It will be a very secure time capsule.
Yeah, then probably one of those. I just don't know which one I would do.
There you go.
So, what's your last item?
My last item that I would pick would probably be whatever my most valuable Dragon Ball card is from Fusion World. Because
you get that bad boy graded, and in 20 years
it could be worth a bunch of money, you know. So I don't know. So I've got my Goku and Gohan statue. I've got the iPad. I've got the Dragon Ball card. I've got the PS2 with an airflow controller, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy Blu-ray.
So mine was the Game Boy Color, the Magic Band, one of his Jeffries, the BD1 statue, and what was my fifth one?
Oh, you replaced the dinosaurs. It was.
No, mine just went blank.
Yep. Let's see, Game Boy.
Oh, his droid.
The droid. Yep.
Which, in reality, depending on when we would do this, I would, because I'm doing the same thing with SJ when he gets older too. So I would put both of theirs.
They you know what? They'll probably have Iron Man style where it's all virtual related, and then it like some kind of printing thing. So, but yeah. So that's kind of our time capsule loadout for this side quest. So we're going to jump into bonus level. So bonus level really is kind of a baby side quest, and the reason why it's a baby side quest is that it's just kind of a precursor to we're going to have an episode that's on movie music, game music, scores, but then also one that's just about music specifically. So I have just a couple things to kind of drive our conversation, but really just a couple. But do you remember your first concert that you ever went to?
I didn't. I was never big on concerts, so I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
go to a
fair.
lot of them.
That's fair.
But I remember somehow my mom and dad got free tickets to like an American Idol like revamp concert, like where they did the tour afterward
Really?
back in the day. Where you know what I'm talking about, where they
Yeah,
did
yeah,
like
yeah.
the contestants.
Uh
So
huh.
the contestants went around and like performed and stuff. I remember going to that back in the day. But the first one that I can remember that or that's the first one I can remember. But the first one that I went to and like actually wanted to go, like really wanted to go to, was the fair concert. It was Easton Corbin.
I don't even know what that is.
It's he's just a country singer.
Oh, country. That's why. That's like the. I mean, I dabbled in everything, but that's the one
Yeah,
genre I
but
don't
it
touch.
was funny because that was on Saturday, or no, that was on Friday, and I left for conference on Saturday.
Oh my
It was my first
gosh.
conference. That was when I did it.
Well, daggone. Yeah, my first So I don't know if I know exactly what my first concert was. Um, I've mentioned being involved in local music back in the day and all of that. So definitely one of those came before this, but the first big one that I can remember, and we did a meet and greet and stuff too, was Avenged Sevenfold and Breaking Benjamin. And it was at the Louisville Palace downtown. Or no, not the Palace. Is there a place down there called Louisville Gardens?
Yeah,
Okay, it was
it's shut down now. I
Oh,
think it's
is it
shut down
okay?
now.
But that was the first one. But the most memorable for me, like, would either have to be I went and saw Lindsey Sterling at Mercury Ballroom. That was absolutely amazing.
Becca went to go watch her,
I
and
know when you told
but
me.
yeah, well, but she doesn't like they sat so close. It actually gave her a really really bad headache for like a day and a half afterwards.
Yeah, I would say that we listened to very loud music and loud concerts before it was cool too, because my old ass can't take that noise like I used to.
Um, we went to Jason Aldean a couple years ago,
Oh, really?
up in Evansville. Me and
Oh,
it was before we had SJ. It was me, Becca, Wayne Taryn, and my mom and dad. It was one of their things they bought for us for Christmas a couple years ago.
gotcha.
Dude, he was a lot of he was a lot of fun to watch in concert.
I feel bad.
So
Was he the one performing at the Mandalay Bay when that shooting happened out in Vegas?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Eminem's got a song called "Darkness" that was about that. Which
I know
have you
that
heard
song.
that
I've
song?
listened to a lot. I listen if Eminem brings out an album,
You
I
listen to
listen
the
to
whole
the
thing?
entire thing.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Yep. Me too. Me too.
So
But yeah, the whole thing with music is that like I said, we're gonna have. I could totally also say, I mean, the Metal Gear concert is probably my favorite
yeah.
ever. But that's
Well,
an
and
orchestra.
I was gonna say too. So I've remember. So like I've always liked Eminem, like growing up and everything. And mom used to listen to him and everybody and everything. So it was funny because Eminem had on MTV, they broadcasted one of his concerts back in the day.
Oh,
And it was funny because everybody was like, literally was coming out, flipping everybody off, doing everything. And he was like, "Everybody, hold your fingers up or whatever."
yeah,
And
yeah.
I'll never forget. Mom looked at me and said, You're never going to an Eminem concert." Which
Well,
that I was probably only
dude,
like
it's so
9 or 10.
funny. It's so funny that you say that because we started this whole thing and Taylor Swift had kind of come up. We talked about how the Eras Tour is streaming and blah blah
Mhm.
blah. Do you remember talking about FYE? All the musicians that would release DVDs of their concerts,
Yep.
and like you go to
Well,
FYE
that's
and
what this
buy
this
them,
this ended up being. So it was on MTV, and then it
but they
came out as a
released it.
DVD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's nuts. So, but yeah, so a little micro bonus level side quest for you there, and it's really kind of a precursor. We're gonna do a whole thing about music, both from a movie and game and score perspective in one episode, and then music centric specifically, and give you some playlists. But that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into our save point. All right. So, I mean, good lord, I don't think that we have had an episode that was as all over the place as today was.
No, this one was all over the place, and kind of it bounced so quick between everything that. It was.
It did, but that's the thing with we have some that we do very targeted topics on, but we've done this methodology of like games and like movies, and then if we've got some GameStop stuff to talk about GameStop, then we go general nostalgia, like when we did mall memories and
Yeah.
stuff. So we're just kind of keeping with the methodology a little bit, but hopefully it wasn't too squirrely for y'all today. Thank you as always for hanging out and listening to us for episode 25. Of course, you can always, follow up and reach out to us either on TikTok, on YouTube, Instagram, through the pod itself, or at the email, the midnight release pod at gmail.com. And you reminded me last time, so I'm not going to forget, but we do have links in all those bios, one of which goes to the Discord. We're going to try and do a little more with that. If you happen to go in there and join, you can come in, chat, you can lurk, however you want to hang around with us. But ultimately, just listening is what we appreciate.
Yeah, for sure. And again, always thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Please reach out to us on any of them. Like I said, if you want to get to not just me and Chase, and you want to get to Wayne and Scott, they're both in the Discord.
True.
They're in there as well. They're going to be in there just whenever we are. So, other than that, what are we looking like? Hopefully, as long as it works.
Yeah, barring any shenanigans, we alluded to this last week during patch notes, but where we mapped out kind of the next several episodes. But we did say we could have to pivot. But if we don't, our next episode is going to be pivot. But
talking about friends earlier,
right? Exactly. But if if things line up, we're going to do our next episode. Will be a quad episode, which is Heroes in the Shadows, which is DC focused around primarily.
Basically, think the Marvel episode, just DC version.
Yeah, with an acknowledgement that we don't have like a universe per se. We're going to talk all things DC, movies, TV shows, animated TV shows, that kind of stuff. So. That's going to be quad, assuming we get
builders.
Oh, dude, yes.
We ain't played that in a while.
I know. But yeah, so we're going to get into all things DC next week. If not, we'll pivot to a different topic if we can't get the quad locked down. Likely will be something game centric, of course. But yes, as always, thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you for listening. Appreciate everything you all do. And remember, some memories are worth lining up for.